So as you can see, I still have a lot of green going on in my garden. This vegetable right here is what is known as the bitter leaf. The bitter leaf vegetable, Vernonia amygdalina is the botanical name, and it's still looking very fresh. If you've been on this channel, then you would know I talk about the bitter leaf so much. I'm coming to the conclusion that this is my favorite vegetable to grow because it's very low maintenance, does very well down here. It's very expensive if you even can find a fresh bitter leaf in stores, in African stores, and it's a very versatile vegetable. We can use it in so many recipes, very low maintenance. So if you're looking at it and you're wondering why the stems are this long, it's because I did save the stems for propagation. So I've been harvesting just the leaves from the bottom, waiting for the stems to mature so I can propagate. So today I'm going to be harvesting the leaves and the stems as well, and I will show you how I start the propagation process in the fall so that come spring I have rooted stems ready to go in the garden. Let me show you this other variety of the bitter leaf. So this one has extremely broad leaves, and if you watch closely you would notice that the stem is a little different, but it is the bitter leaf. Let's take a closer look, see how huge the leaves are. This particular variety is not as bitter as the other one that I just showed you, and I love this one because you don't need too many leaves to cook a pot of soup, a pot of bitter leaf soup as we call it. So yeah, and this other variety right here of bitter leaf is my first time growing it. This one I started from seeds earlier this year. I started from seeds around March. I've harvested quite a few times, and this is what we have. Yes, bitter leaf has seeds. You can grow bitter leaves via stem propagation or from seeds. So I got the seeds from a guy on Etsy, and yeah, I've been harvesting and enjoying the bitter leaves. This particular variety is the least bitter of them all, very surprisingly so. So yeah, that's this one, and I want you to note that I have them growing in these huge fabric bags, as you can see. But at this point, the roots have found the earth and is growing directly in the earth. But I love this because it allows you to grow things in spaces that you would otherwise be like, I can't grow anything. So get you some huge fabric bags, fill them up, and then you can grow stuff like bitter leaves. So yeah, guys, we'll harvest some today as well. Okay, guys, I need to give you an update on this vegetable right here. It's known as nkwi. I'm going to try to put the botanical name on the screen somewhere, but people from the northwest region of Cameroon and the western region should be very familiar with this vegetable. It is known as nkwi. I do not think the leaves are edible, but what we use to make a soup is the extract of the stem. So you see the stem of the nkwi, see how thick it is. So we peel the bark of the stem and then we extract a thick mucilaginous substance, just like okra. It has the consistency of okra. It's like that kind of velvety mucilage, yeah. And then we add a bunch of tropical spices, and it makes for a very tasty soup. So I'm very happy that I successfully cultivated the nkwi vegetable. All right, guys, I need to show you what I have growing here. This is amaranth, callaloo, yeah. This is callaloo, a whole bed of callaloo that just self-seeded, and it grows very, very quickly. This must be like 2 weeks old, maybe 2 or 3 weeks old. So this thing can go from seed to harvest in about 30 days. So I have a whole bed of callaloo here. And as you can see, we have probably some army worms going on here. As you can see the holes in the leaves. These are caterpillars or army worms infestation. And look what I still have in November. These are the chocolate Scotch bonnet peppers, guys. Next year, I'm going to grow a ton of these peppers. I'm going to be saving these for seeds at this point. Man, this thing has been resilient. It's been resilient, super productive. So I know next year I should grow a lot of chocolate Scotch bonnet peppers. I love the color and the heat level is just right. This chocolate color is giving everything. So I have that one here and then this one here which I planted in buckets. Well, there are holes at the bottom. It is still standing, guys. And look, peppers in November. And guys, look at what we have. Peppers. My last harvest of peppers for this year. So these are the chocolate Scotch bonnet peppers. Look at that rich chocolate color. I love these peppers. Chocolate Scotch bonnet peppers. I'm gonna be saving some for seeds and I will definitely be growing these again next year. All right, I need to show you my okra plant that I still have. The one okra plant still standing. This is the Kruma 1010 okra, the one from Ghana. Honestly, I haven't harvested a single one because I want to save the seeds. The reason why I like this particular okra so much is because it can last for a very long time in your garden. It takes a while to produce fruits, but it just keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going until probably the frost is going to be here and kill it at some point. But for now, that's my Kruma 1010 okra. It's an exotic species from Ghana. So we'll be saving the seeds. See how huge it is? A plump, very huge and plump okra. I need to show you this herb as well. This is an herb. We call it in Cameroon masepo. It is a type of basil. A type of basil. We use it to season what is known as pepper soup. It's a type of spicy soup known as pepper soup. We use this vegetable and I think it also has medicinal uses. But guys, this is masopo. It is a very close relative to scent leaf, but has a different fragrance. Masopo. Okay, this is what is known as tree tomatoes. I tried it out this year for the first time. Let me show you the entire length of the stem. I've never seen it growing before, but I wanted to experiment with it. It didn't do too well. I just noticed some flowers today. Let's see if I can show you the flowers. There you go. There you go. Okay. So yeah, that's the flower of the tree tomato. I don't think it's gonna survive the winter, but I'm glad I tried growing it. Let me show you this other side of my garden and give you updates on the broccoli. My broccoli that I'm growing this fall. So as you can see, the broccoli, it's picked up quite nicely. The amaranth is everywhere. I've tried to destroy it, but it keeps coming back. I'm gonna get rid of it again. But yeah, guys, broccoli doing extremely well. Of course, we have more bitter leaves. My whole goal is to have as much bitter leaves as I can, to have a whole fence of bitter leaves. So yeah, guys, as you can see, bitter leaves. All the way to the end of that fence, we have bitter leaves, and I'm going to keep adding more stems to this other end of the fence. Oh my god, guys, look at my fluted pumpkin, the only surviving ugu in November. Look at how huge the leaves are. So I've been coming back here and harvesting a few leaves to add to my soup. That's it. One surviving ugu. It's too late now to start ugu from seeds. You have to wait until spring to grow the fluted pumpkin or the ugu because it's not very tolerant to cold weather. And guys, don't do this. Don't let your amaranth do this. Unfortunately, I've just not been able to keep up with getting rid of the amaranth, and now I have a mess of amaranth seeds all over the place, and it's going to take a lot of work to get rid of the amaranth, the kalaloo. It's now everywhere, like in the grass and just everywhere. It has self-seeded throughout the entire garden. Not a good thing. And this right here is a wedu. I'm going to put the botanical name on the screen, but it's a wedu. The leaves are what is used to make a soup. It's a slimy kind of vegetable as well, just like okra. The leaves are slimy. It's used to make this soup known as a wedu soup. So it has gone to seeds. You can see the seed pods right here. This is just one plant that has sprawled all over the place like this, the wedu plant. Okay, tribe, after about 2 hours, I'm done working on the bitter leaves. So here are the stems, and I have it separated into different grades I'm going to explain in a little bit. And then over here are the leaves. Well, some of the leaves are still on the stems, but these stems are very green. So I'm going to further process this one for consumption and then for storage. But let's talk about the stems for a little bit. So in this bucket right here, I have stems from a previous harvest sitting in water, as you can see. So it's gonna sit in this water all winter long. I change the water every 2 to 3 days and put fresh water. And let's take a look at what happens after a few weeks of the stems, the mature stems sitting in water. It starts to form roots, just like so. So after a while, I'm going to put these stems in soil, in little nursery bags, potting mix soil indoors, and continue to grow the bitter leaves until it forms root structure, and then I will plant in the spring. So these are all sitting in water. Some will not form the roots, and then I will throw those away. So I just keep watching them and changing the water. You see, this one is probably not gonna form roots. As you can see, the mature one forms roots. So probably I'll need to throw this one away. So yeah, this is from a previous harvest, but for today, these are like the grade A stems, nice and brown and mature. I know these ones will root. This next pile over here, not as mature, but I'm gonna just try to root them anyway. I'm just gonna put them in the garden directly. What grows, what doesn't, that's fine. And then in here, I have like smaller stems, but mature nonetheless, sitting in water, okay? And then these are just like the green stuff that's gonna go in the compost pile. So yeah, that's how I work on my bitter leaves all winter long. And then in the spring, I'm gonna have a bunch of rooted stems ready to go in the garden. Right here, I have about 30 in this pile. This here probably 20 to 30, something like that. So right there's already 60 new bitter leaf stems. So what I will do is just put this other pile right here in the bucket, add more water, and this sits in my kitchen, guys. It sits in my kitchen all winter long. That way I can keep an eye on it, change the water, like I said, every 2 to 3 days. I put fresh, clean water, just regular tap water. Yeah, so this one goes back to the garden. I just dump stuff here. It's gonna compost over the winter. So I harvested the bitter leaves from along the fence here. It was a little forest. These stems, the one I told you I wasn't very sure about, I'm just gonna go ahead and do some infilling. If it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, that's fine. It's just I don't want to throw it away, so I'm gonna take a chance. You might be surprised, just saving it in here basically for now.